Alaina Housley was 18 at the time of the borderline shooting. She was the youngest of the 12 victims who died that night.
Alaina was from Napa Valley, where her parents and younger brother live today.
NewsWaves 32 reporter Channa Steinmetz spoke with Alaina's family on how they continue to remember her. Channa?
1 year after losing Alaina in the borderline shooting, her father, Arik Housley, told me days are still filled with ups and downs. But through it all, he and his family are finding strength through calling for change.
We continue to this day to say that she was in the right place at the right time. She was there when evil walked in. And I think that's the hard part, is we try not to go down the road of why, because nothing will bring her back, right? So if we just start to look for someone to blame or start to ask why us, why Alaina, how did this happen, I couldn't pray that night that it was someone else's child, because her friends were there with her. And, if it wasn't Alaina, it would be somebody else. And sadly, we find ourselves in that predicament. But it's been amazing to see how much has come of this.
Arik and his wife Hannah created the foundation Alaina's Voice to advocate for kindness and mental health reform.
Alaina's Voice is a little different in one factor, because we're really not asking for gun laws. We're not asking for background checks or all of that. Maybe those things are part of it. We're just asking the world's leaders to sit down, especially the America's leaders, to sit down and say, okay, this is enough. How do we change this from happening?
The Housleys have committed themselves to speak out against gun violence, even creating a special jersey that honors those who died.
The Time magazine cover came out with all the cities that had mass shootings. Mm-hmm. And it hit me. So I contacted our designer. He created this jersey for us, and it's awesome.
The jersey, which includes over 100 cities where shootings have occurred, has a special tie to the Napa Valley, where Alaina grew up.
So it's the 12 victims of borderline. Mm-hmm. It's the 3 victims from the Veterans Home, because in Napa Valley we had a shooting at the Veterans Home where a man with PTSD re-entered the Veterans Home and took 3 women's lives. And then so there was 15 people that were affected in 2018 to the Napa Valley in that way. And then it was every city since we started our team in 2017, and he hand wrote every single city in the patterns of our jersey. There's a tag at the bottom, basically similarly like I told you, just saying to our politicians, it's time to act. This is enough gun violence. Let's have a discussion. Let's sit down and figure out how we turn this table before it just continues to get worse.
The foundation even raised money this past year to provide counseling resources and scholarships for Alaina's old high school.
We didn't have enough counseling hours that were happening to be able to really serve the kids. So we're trying to put in programs in place to support counseling hours to get the kids more counseling support that they need because of the stress on teenagers, because they're the adults of tomorrow.
During this past year of grieving, Arik says he and his family have found comfort in small acts of kindness.
My advice to people, if you deal with anybody in grief, is it's okay not to say anything. Just go up and smile or give someone a hug, and that's plenty.
Kindness is at the core of the foundation's mission. For Arik, it is through kindness that Alaina's Voice carries on.
I get messages all the time about how much it's helped people, the kindness that even for themselves, where it's allowing them to, or it's pushing them to be better, to then help people around them and drop them a bracelet and buy them a coffee or just say hello or something of the sort. And the responses have been really, really nice. So whether it's stopped shooting, I will never know, and possibly never know. But at least we know that we can, and hope that the efforts and the intent of kindness can help in some way.
Thank you, Channa. It sounds like the Housley family is really focused on keeping Alaina's voice alive.
Yeah, they've grown so much with the foundation this past year, and they even told me that singer-songwriter Skylar Gray is coming out with a song today dedicated to Alaina.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
She didn't even know her. She just woke up one day and had the melody and all the lyrics in her head. So it comes together so naturally, and it's a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful way to honor someone.